Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Everything is Bad new Fangled motion picture show. So we just got back from watching Baywatch.
Yep.
We're about a week late on this.
Yeah, I guess so.
Last week we were seeing Pirates, so we had to go see the other aquatic-based movie from last week.
Yep.
So it was funny.
It was funny. I liked it.
It's just the next in this trend of remaking campy 80s and 90s TV shows into comedy movies, which I hope they keep up, because 21 and 22 Jump Street were very funny,
Yep.
Chips was very funny, and Baywatch was very funny.
Yeah, Baywatch was pretty good. There's a lot of good dialogue. A lot of the jokes were like sight gags, though.
Yeah, all the funny dialogue, or not all, but most of the funniest dialogue was from The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson. He's credited as Dwayne Johnson. He's
credited as Dwayne Johnson, but he will always be The Rock in my heart.
Right.
Making fun of Zac Efron's character.
Yeah.
Calling him all kinds of boy band names and Justin Bieber, things like that.
Yeah. But there's some really great sight gags. There's in there, and it makes fun of the TV show a lot.
Just like 21 Jump Street and Chips did. It makes
self-referential. All the hottest girls or hottest women in the show, they like run in slow motion, and other people are just watching. Like, are they moving in slow motion? I mean, that's in the trailer, so it's not like a big reveal or anything. But it's just like, oops, bump the mic stand. That's like this running gag is like
your wild gesticulations. You're talking like my boss, dude.
Well, trying to learn Italian, all right. But yeah, it's just like a lot of joke, and then like they keep referencing the fact that they're just lifeguards.
Yeah.
But they're trying to like solve like these crimes, like drug dealing and murder and stuff going on the beach, and things that cops should be doing.
Right.
And like throughout
once the person's out of the water, not drowning, their job is done.
Right, and so, but it just like this running gag throughout the whole movie. People keep pointing out like you're just lifeguards.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I mean it's a very funny movie. All the acting was really well done. All the dialogue was, all the comedic dialogue was well delivered.
Yeah. By now we know that both The Rock and Zac Efron they're in comedies all the time.
Yeah, I mean Zac Efron was in
Neighbors. Yeah,
was the first like major comedy I can remember seeing him in.
He'd been in stuff.
I know he's been in stuff, but as far as like a main character in, and The Rock, I mean we've known for a long time Dwayne Johnson's just a funny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was in Central Intelligence last year.
Yeah, that was pretty good too.
That was a pretty funny movie. But yeah, it's a fun movie. A
lot of eye candy for both preferences.
Yeah. Yeah, for all the persuasions, there's a lot of eye candy.
A lot of eye candy. It's pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, so I think that's about as much as we can say in the spoiler-free part. It's Baywatch. There's not a whole lot we can say about it.
Right.
So
as far as in depth, we'll throw it up a spoiler warning. We might get a little more in depth here.
You had one problem with the movie. And it's a pretty minor problem, but it's a problem that, from a filmmaking standpoint, right, where the dude who's Ronnie's friend,
Hannibal Buress, if you know who he is, he plays the friend of Ronnie, who's this nerdy but lovable guy, and he gets onto Baywatch because he's got heart and tenacity, and he doesn't give up. So the Rock's character Mitch, he was the Hasselhoff's character, he lets him on, and
but it's at the very beginning of the movie, the first scene, it's Hannibal Buress's character, whose name I don't remember because he's
David.
He's a pretty minor character, but
he plays an important part, but doesn't have a lot of screen time.
Yeah, so it's him and Ronnie standing on the beach, and Ronnie's testing out a drone.
Right.
And
he comments he doesn't like the beach. Yeah. He hates the beach. He doesn't like the water. He would never go to the beach except that his friend Ronnie drug him along.
Right.
For this.
And then later on, when he gets murdered by the villain's thugs and dumped in the ocean with chum so that sharks would attack his corpse to make it look like a shark attack killed him.
Yeah, they dressed him in a wetsuit. They didn't bring... It wasn't brought up by Ronnie that... See, I thought as soon as they jumped in the water, I'm like, oh, there's going to be a scene where they bring out his body, and Ronnie's like, whoa, this can't possibly be an accident, because he would never even get in the water.
Right.
So, there's no way he would be swimming in the water to be attacked by a shark, but that never came up.
Yeah, I mean, they
that might have been in an earlier draft, that's why that first conversation was there, but it wasn't in what became the movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's not quite on the level of a Chekhov's gun, but it feels, other than it's being funny that the dude's, bitching about being drugged along to the beach at the beginning, the conversation feels like I don't know
foreshadowing.
Yeah, I mean,
almost not quite, but
yeah,
it seems like it seems like
a superfluous bit of dialogue.
It feels important once the murderers throw his body into the ocean. Then you're like, oh, that little bit about it was important, but it didn't come up again.
But yeah, I mean, other than that,
yeah,
it's Baywatch, man. Like you already have to look past quite a bit, to enjoy it. I mean, you go in and honestly, you're not gonna expect Oscar material, obviously.
Well, or something. So I think the movie's not doing that well, I think part of it is people are like, "Why Baywatch?" and they're just not even interested. And then another thing is it's just another movie that they're remaking from an old TV show.
But the thing is, all those ridiculous TV shows that they've made into comedy movies so far have been good.
Right.
They've been funny movies. So when I saw that they were doing Baywatch and
Chips didn't do that well, I don't think.
Dwayne Johnson was in it, I was like, oh, I totally want to see that because it's gonna be like Chips. It's gonna be like 21 and 22 Jump Street. Those are all funny movies.
Right, and this is a funny movie. But then you gotta remember at the time, Baywatch ran for like 10 seasons. And at one time it was the most watched TV show out there.
Yeah.
It was huge. And for anyone at puberty in the 90s, before
they have fond memories of Pamela Anderson running in slow motion.
Not just Pamela Anderson, but all of them. It was before when we had pay by the minute dial up.
Yeah.
All right, that was a thing.
Yeah.
Pay per minute dial up. When you're 11 years old and all you got is Baywatch and
Sears catalog?
No, well, I had better than that. I had a Victoria's Secret catalog.
Oh. But yeah, I mean, it's...
the stories were campy, but it was just kind of a fun show, and the movie is the same way. It's a fun movie. I enjoyed it.
And it makes sufficient fun of the show.
Right, it makes sufficient fun of the show.
There's that scene where they're trying to drive home how serious the job is to Zac Efron's character, and Dwayne Johnson's oh, tell him about this case from last year. Oh, the time there's all the rays that came up and one flew out of the water and stung someone in the chest, killed them, and that time with the
diamond smugglers hiding diamonds in surfboards, and it was all plots from the TV show,
right?
That are just really ridiculous.
And Zac Efron goes, "This all sounds like a was it unrealistic but enjoyable TV show?"
Yeah, it was like an entertaining but very unrealistic TV show or something like that. Yeah,
so it totally makes fun of itself, and that's great. That's exactly what we wanted from it.
Yeah,
and
there's not much. The bad guy was villainous enough. Her plan was sufficient for what the movie was. There's not a whole lot to say. It's Baywatch. Mm-hmm. I got out of it exactly what I expected to.
Yep.
and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And I was entertained for 2 hours or around however long it was. Yeah, I don't really think we have much more to say about Baywatch. Yeah, David Hasselhoff shows up, and so does Pamela Anderson. Pam Anderson doesn't have any lines, but David Hasselhoff it does, and he's pretty funny in it.
Yeah.
And Pamela Anderson it's funny. She like moves in like super slow motion, and everyone else is moving like regular speed around her, and they're like, "Oh man, this is gonna take forever."
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I recommend going and seeing it. Please go and see it because I want more cheesy 80s and 90s TV shows made into.
Plus, this movie doesn't deserve to do bad. It deserves. I don't know. It's like it's not a bad movie, and I mean, I like the cast.
Yep.
So yeah, you should go see this movie. It was like I said, it was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all we can really say about Baywatch. This is a short one. Seeing Wonder Woman tomorrow.
That'll probably be a much longer one.
That'll probably be a much longer new Fangled motion picture show. So this is just, I mean, we were gonna go see the movie anyway, and we're like, yeah, we can sit down for 15 minutes and talk about Baywatch and record it. So, yeah, that's basically all we have to say about it. Go see it. It doesn't deserve to do bad.
Nope.
All right. If you enjoyed that, go ahead and hit subscribe down below, so you can check out you can be alerted when we post other newfangled motion picture shows, as well as we do some streams and some video game play videos, just for fun. This channel is just sort of like whatever we feel like making. So if you like this content, hit like and subscribe so we know what people like, what they don't like. We know what to do in the future. Bye.